I'm going to officially start the webinar. You are at the breaking down a live enrollment call so you can increase sign-up rates by 37% in 2 months webinar with our very special guest, James Hodges. And before we get started, I just want to welcome those of you who are members. Those of you who are not members, we actually put this out to all of the chapters in the Southeast region. And if anybody is interested in knowing more about becoming a member of our chapter, you can just email membership@icfsouthflorida.org, or you can always reach out to me, Paula Holland DeLong. I am the VP of Programming for the chapter, and I'm going to be your hostess for the very beginning and the very end of this event. So, business out of the way. First of all, I want to let you guys know that this event makes you eligible for one resource development CCEU, and the way that will work is within the next day or two, you will get an email from us with a survey asking you to provide feedback on this event. At the end of the survey, there will be a place that asks you if you want your CCEU. You click yes, submit that, and your CCEU will be mailed to you within 7 days. I encourage you, if you want the CCEU, to get it right away because it's only available for 30 days after the event. And after that, your opportunity to claim it goes away. So don't forget, if you want it, to make sure that you reach out. And if you don't see the survey, feel free to reach out to me as well. Also wanted to let you guys know about some upcoming events. We have a little kind of early kickoff for International Coaching Week, and this is going to be our first Spanish language event of the year. And I'm going to say it in English because I don't speak Spanish, but it's coaching from emotional map as a coaching tool. And it's with Erica Monroy, who some of you guys may know. She's a really energetic and powerful speaker. And the event will be totally in Spanish. It's on Wednesday, April 24th from 7:30 to 10:30 in Coral Gables. And you can find the info to sign up on our website on the calendar. Then we also have another event for Coaching Week. It's a live event on Sunday, 4/28 from 9 to 11 a.m. in West Palm. I know that's early on a Sunday morning, but trust me, Janet Harvey is totally worth it. And she's going to be talking about coaching from presence. And she is a well-known expert in that area for us. Thursday, our next live meeting after International Coaching Week will be on Thursday, May 18th from 11:30 to 1:30 in Hollywood. And it's going to be on the neuroscience of PC markers with our master coach, Joanna Davis. So that's what's coming up. There'll be more International Coaching Week coming to you via email. And if anybody has any questions or wants to know more, please feel free to reach out to me after the webinar. You can get me at paula@whatsnextformylife.com, or you can chat me during the call and I'll reach out to you afterwards. Wow, I feel like I was talking really fast.
Paula, there's one more thing. We have one phone call-in listener. So if the person who has only called in through the phone would like to receive the survey for the CCEUs, please put your email address in the chat box.
Yes, and we'll go ahead and get you on the list for the survey. Thanks for the reminder, Keely. That's why Keely's our webinar goddess, everybody. And thank you so much, Keely, for everything you do. So, all right, well, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now because you've seen our beautiful logo and our mission and our vision. And I want to introduce our speaker. James Hodges is the CEO of Empowered, and he writes in his bio, I had the incredible fortunate opportunity to grow up in New Zealand, and you love his accent. Things were great there, but they seriously shifted when I studied abroad at UC Berkeley in 2008. That experience allowed me to flourish like I never have before and sent me on a journey for the last decade to democratize personal growth. I think that's a wonderful thing. Over this journey through the last decade, I won the green card lottery, lived in London, New York, Utah, and for the last 2 years in San Diego. I helped grow a business to business events portfolio from 1.5 to 5 million in over 5 million plus over 4 years, and most recently has grown his tech company from 2 to 28 million users in 3.5 years. Now he is democratizing personal growth at Empowered, and we are so fortunate to be a part of that, James. So welcome, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Paula. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you guys. Love connecting with ICF coaches. So it looks like we've got Charlene, Susan, Zina, is that how I pronounce it? Hopefully. Matthew, Brad, Keely, Paula, obviously, Bernardo, Mary. So it's a pleasure to connect with all of you guys. And we've got about 54 minutes for me really to dive into enrollment and to really help each of you guys in your journey of helping to empower the world to be stronger. And I know, from our perspective, we run a company called Empowered. Our brand name is Next Level Coaches. But our mission is to be the Marvel Studios of personal growth. And we love ICF. We love ICF coaches because each and every one of you guys has a mission and you're here to play a bigger game and you have invested to get your clients results. You have invested in training to be truly great at your craft. And we all know that the coaching industry is the wild, wild west and anybody can be a coach. So we have so much respect for people who have invested thousands of dollars to take their training to a different level to get their clients results. And now what I'm here to deliver for you guys is how do you get your business results? So let's get into this. So I would love to just get some comments in the dialogue box, first of all, from everybody. What is the problem that you solve? What is the problem that you solve for your clients? If you guys could sum that up in a sentence in the dialogue box, that would be fantastic. I don't solve problems. Awesome. And effective leadership. Let's keep going, guys. Self-doubt. Key issues around getting clarity. What's happening now? What's important now? Transforming the chaos of life into resilience, vitality, and magic. Awesome. Clarity and focus so they are lit up about what they're doing. Beautiful. Keep them coming, guys. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to keep rolling. Strategy and change. Beautiful. We'll be doing an actual live breakdown of an enrollment call for you guys shortly, so you'll get to see that. But what I want you guys to all realize is that there's the business that you think you're in, and there's the business that you're actually in. And so being clear on what is the problem that you actually solve is really, really important. Because for us, we don't see ourselves as a company that helps to grow and scale mission-driven leaders or mission-driven coaches to 6 figures, 7 figures, and beyond. We are in the business of building leaders. That is what we are here to do, is we build leaders. And so when we see ourselves as the Marvel Studios of personal growth, we see ourselves as empowering people to grow and build as leaders. And most of you guys reach out to corporate executives or to different people in organizations, a lot of B2B. Some of you will work with individuals in more of a life coaching type of sense. But my background for 10 years was working in B2B, in events, in tech, and helping to grow multi-million-dollar enterprises that way. So my experience has been working with very high-level CEOs, people like the CEO of Ally Bank, to go and create $5 million plus deals in tech, as well as in different events at a smaller scale. And so my experience has been getting in front of key decision makers and then working with them to grow and help grow their business and create deals around that for our business and for them. So the next question I have for you guys is, we see ourselves in the business of building leaders, and that's what we are. What is the business that you see yourself in? So you've noticed, or you've put down the challenge, and thank you guys all for being super interactive here. I hate webinars where it's just someone speaking. I want to make it interactive. So let's see what you guys see as the business that you're really in. You're not just a coach. What are you actually here to do? What is your mission? What is your why? What is the thing that lights you up and gets you excited? What is the thing where you're like, this is the business I'm really in? Empowering executives to play a bigger game, empowering executives to have an impact far greater than just themselves. The business of making a workplace a more conscious, human-centered place. Beautiful. Leadership effectiveness, improving family interactions to bring joy and humanity to business. Helping people to find life and live their sole purpose. Amazing. So keep those coming. The next question I have for you guys is, now that you know all those things, the next question is, what has been your biggest challenge in getting people to invest $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in you, in your business, in this mission that you have? What has been the biggest challenge that you have experienced in the sales and enrollment and marketing process to get people to invest $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in actually making the change that you're here to create? What has been the biggest challenge you have found in trying to get people to pay you thousands of dollars? What has been the biggest challenge you have found in sales, in enrollment, and marketing? I'd love to hear those from you guys. And as a summary, you've outlined the problem you solve, the business that you're really in, and now what's been the obstacle. People unsure that ICF coaching is worth that investment, unaware of the benefit of coaching, perception of what coaching is and is not, time constraints, illustrating the impact of coaching. Okay, cool. So a lot of what I'm hearing is the idea of coaching itself, and people aren't necessarily aware of the benefit of coaching. Too many clients to roll them all personally. That's a great problem to have, Matthew. That's amazing. So you get to build systems and scale. Hard to quantify the benefits, understand the ROI. Beautiful, awesome. Okay, keep those coming and we can allude to those as we go. ROI, beautiful. Okay, so this is great stuff, guys. So we're gonna really get into some cool stuff here. So the hard reality of the coaching space is only 5% of coaches actually exceed 6 figures. And so what's the problem with most coaching businesses, and this alludes to what Matthew said, is once you get to a certain point in your coaching business, you experience what's called the point of diminishing returns, and then you get into the point of negative returns, where you only have so much time and so much bandwidth. So you start off in your ICF training, and you learn all these amazing skills and talents and strategies to go and help your clients break through. And then you're told, go out to the world and create clients. And so what happens is you go out there and you do pro bono work, or you do one-off sessions with people. You don't exactly know who your dream client is. You're not focused deep down in one specific niche. And then you don't even know exactly how to find those dream clients and how to get in front of them, how to build your authority to get them on the phone and then to enroll them. And so what happens is once you start to figure that piece out, then you're starting to trade time for money. You're either spending all your time serving clients on a one-on-one basis, organizations, individuals, and then you have less time to market and sell yourselves. Like what Matthew said, he doesn't have the time to enroll everyone personally. And so he is trading time for money. And so this is the classic dilemma of a service-based business, where at the start, it's all you, it's all your effort, it's all hustle to go and bring people in. And then finally you start to get to the point where you're bringing people in, but now you're just so swamped with time with either serving clients or trying to sell people that you don't have the time that you want or the freedom that you want to create your business in the first place. And so how do you actually flip the model on its head where you're actually starting to get an exponential growth rate? And when you start to move your model away from necessarily being a service-based business to more of a product-based business, which is based more on a system, then you can get that growth. And we're not going to talk too much about that today, but that's how I've been able to scale MX from 2 million to 28 million users, doing $5 million plus deals with large corporate banks. My co-founder was able to scale from 0 to 65,000 students with Chakra School, and what we've been able to create with our business here. This is just like a quick summary of what we've created here since Q1 of last year. Our clients have been able to do the same thing. So you guys, Paula sent out, and this is just to create some clarity for you guys, because I want to focus all on enrollment today. But just so you guys know, because the number one metric, let's pause and just ask a question here. What is the number one metric that you guys should be focused on to grow your business? What is the most important thing, the number one measurement that you guys should be focused on to grow your business? Let's wait and see what everyone says. Number one metric. Client satisfaction, marketing. Cool. Let's get specific. So if it's client satisfaction, what is it? Is it net promoter score, client number of calls, marketing, sessions per week? Boom. Awesome. So the most important metric, just because of timing here, and I'm not going to tease you too much, the most important metric that will determine if you're going to be growing or not, well, the most important two. The first one is the number of enrollment calls you're having every single week with dream clients. If you're not having at least 5 to 10 conversations every week with new dream clients, you're behind the 8 ball. And that's why your business is not growing. The second one is around client satisfaction, net promoter score, and how well you are doing. For the long term, it's all about, in a service-based business, it's all referrals. In the short term, it's the number of conversations you're having with dream clients. Cool. And that's based on thousands and thousands of data. We run a community of 4,200 coaches, and we've been able to see this across the board. We've mined a ton of data around this. So the next part for you guys is understanding where in the game are you at with your business. Because there's so many strategies you guys have probably heard. Facebook ads, YouTube, podcast, LinkedIn, cold email, blogs, speaking events, networking. What is the right strategy for you to go and grow your business? Coffees, referrals. Like, what is the right strategy for you and your business? So Paula sent this out to each of you guys at the start before. So hopefully you guys have gone and done it. You can do it after this call, but it's mydreamclients.com. It takes 2 minutes. We don't ask for any information. It'll tell you exactly the level of coach of where you're at. There's 5 levels of coaching, and it's going to take away all the BS and all the noise. And it's going to tell you what strategy you should focus on to grow your business from a marketing perspective. Google AdWords, exactly. Google AdWords is another strategy. There's a million. So what's actually right for your business? Cool. And Matthew, if you're getting Google AdWords and you're getting a lot of people coming through, amazing. What you may want to do is, if you've got an automated funnel, is creating what's called a setter, which is someone who can go and screen the first 15 minutes of your calls, offer value to someone, see if they qualify, and then have them come on a call with you. So you're only doing enrollment calls with qualified people. That's once you start to scale. And it sounds like with Matthew, he's got too many clients to have conversations with. But for most coaches, they should be doing the enrollment calls themselves. Cool. Okay, let's get into this, and then we're going to break down a live call. If any of you guys know which level of coach you're already at based on doing the survey, I would love for you guys to share that in the dialogue box as well, so I can speak to each of you guys specifically. Cool. So becoming an enrollment god. So the first part of this is your language and your terminology about how you speak around this. There's a very direct reason why we use the word enrollment and not sales. Who here knows the difference between sales and enrollment? Put that in the dialogue box on the right. Cool. So Paula's level 2. Amazing. So that means she's getting one-on-one clients consistently, and now she's got some one-on-one clients, and now she wants to get them consistently before she moves into group programs, group clients, and starting to scale herself. Cool. So who here knows the difference between sales and enrollment? Enrollment is giving someone what they want. Sales is selling something you want. I like that. That's great. That is more than close enough to what I would say. So we'll roll with that. So enrollment is really having people buy into their own vision. And so the question is, who is enrolling who in the conversation? Are they enrolling you in their bullshit, or are you enrolling them in your vision and their vision? Enrollment is just high-level coaching, and high-level coaching is just enrollment. When you truly understand that enrollment is a sacred conversation, then everything shifts for you. We have a society which has all these used car salesmen and all these stereotypical examples of what sales looks like. And I can imagine for each of you, you've all experienced going into a sales call, enrollment call, whatever you want to call it, a meeting with a potential client, and somewhere deep in the pit of your stomach, or maybe like in your chest, you felt some level of anxiety. Or when it's been time to ask for the money, you felt some level of incongruency, or some self-doubt, or some lack of congruence or authenticity around it. Because what's been shown up in our lives and in society has been this like used car salesman stereotype. And so when it comes to something that's intangible like coaching, we can't effectively communicate the ROI or the benefits or whatever it is, It's not as though that I can just like, if you're standing next to me, I could just like throw you a package and that's your coaching package. Coaching is not tangible. So the idea of enrollment becomes a lot different than you would if you had a physical product. People can't feel coaching. They can't taste coaching. It's intangible. And so we have to be very intangible with our enrollment process and then turn that into something that's more tangible and understandable. So I don't have time today to go to 17 ninja strategies, but I'll give you guys 5 and then we'll show you exactly what this looks like in a live call. So first question for you guys, what is the number one skill of an entrepreneur? What is the number one skill of an entrepreneur? Just get sharing super quick, guys, so I can beast through this. Sell yourself, solve a problem people will pay for. Storytelling. Cool. These are all good. The number one skill of an entrepreneur is the ability to enroll yourself in your own vision. The number one skill is the ability to enroll yourself in your own vision. So there is absolutely no doubt in your mind that what you're creating is absolutely incredible and mind-blowing. There is no one on this planet that I would back more than I back myself. And so many coaches out there experience imposter syndrome. They experience self-doubt, lack of certainty, unworthiness, or they're in denial. They think it's the fact that the client doesn't understand the value of coaching is the reason they're not enrolling. They think that it's the price point is the reason they're not enrolling. It's think that their husband or their wife or their business partner is the reason that enrollment didn't occur. But the number one skill of an entrepreneur is the ability to enroll yourself in your vision and take full ownership and responsibility of that. Number one skill. And when you go into an enrollment call so dead set on your own vision, everything shifts. And the best exercise I can recommend for each of you guys is to do the 100 reasons why exercise and to write down, like, do this. Because 95% of people don't implement. They just listen. They're like, that sounds cool, and they don't do it. So actually do this. Write down the 100 reasons why what you're creating for the market is the best thing in the world. Why, if someone invests $5,000, they're going to get back $50,000 in value over their life, for their health, their wealth, their relationships, for every aspect of their life, for their business, for other people in their business, other people that it impacts. So write down the 100 reasons why, and then do an enrollment call with yourself. Enroll yourself in your vision. Enroll yourself. Practice overcoming objections. Do it with a partner from ICF South Florida. Partner up with someone and do role plays. Practice enrolling them in your vision once you've enrolled yourself. Practice, 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 practice. I can give you all day the best enrollment hacks and tips. Unless you own it and you embody it and you're so embodied in your vision, none of it's going to matter. Because what high ticket really means, what it really means for someone to put down thousands of dollars is not about the ROI of coaching. Not about the price point. It's not about what coaching is or is not. It is not about the price. What high ticket really means is commitment. If you guys have ever experienced this where you've signed up for something that's free, like if ICF was free, how many of you guys would have gone through the full ICF training? Almost none of you, because you wouldn't place value on it. But because ICF is thousands and thousands of dollars, you are committed AF to the process. We have tangible data to show that if we charge $200 to $300 versus $2,000 to $3,000, people are so much more likely to commit to achieving that result. 80% of your coaching results come from the enrollment call. Believe it or not, how you start is how you finish. The biggest breakthrough that you can have with someone is on the enrollment call when you start. Because if it's super, super scary or intimidating for someone to invest that kind of money, you know that they're committed to making a breakthrough. The number of people that we have who have gone through our program, who committed, who paid in full up front and went through that, the number of people who pay back that investment within 2 weeks is outrageous, because the universe conforms to those that commit. And when you charge high ticket and you have that price and you're congruent because you know the value, transformation happens because people have finally committed and they've let go of their BS. But all of us know who have done high ticket that the objections start flying as soon as you mention that price. And we'll get into what that looks like, because those objections are not about the money. They are not about the ROI. They are not about the value of coaching. Those objections is all the BS that's been getting in that person's way and stopping them from creating the life that they actually want. So your being is everything. Everyone thinks it's about a sales script or what you say or how you justify the value of coaching or how you justify ROI. That is almost none of it. Your being, how you show up, your energy, your leadership coming from heart-based leadership and owning your integrity, owning what you're here to create, owning what the business is that you're really in, that is everything. Your words only account for 7%. 93% is your voice tonality, your body language, your ways of being, the energy that you emit. So I'm going to pause super quick. What are you guys hearing so far? What are you guys learning? Would love to hear what everyone's biggest takeaways are so far. What are you guys hearing? Is there anything that you guys disagree with me on? I would just want to get some super quick feedback before I fly into this and actually do it. Be intentional about how you show up. Exactly. Meditation, incredible diet, exercise. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you only show up as a leader 9 to 5, you are not a leader, my friends. 24/7 is what it requires to be a true leader. How you show up being present for your wife, for your spouse, for your children. How you show up for your friends, how you show up for your clients, how you show up for ICF. Those people who are commenting are being intentional and they're being leaders. Those of you who are listening and not participating, you are being passive. If you are being passive, I guarantee you don't have the business that you want to create. Enrolling yourself, doing enrollment call with yourself, yes, and a partner. Enroll yourself and your clients, yes. Who is enrolling who? Their BS or your vision? Awesome, cool. All right, we're going to keep rolling. Hope you guys are having some fun so far. All right. Own the first 5 seconds or it's game over. Most people are like, what? So funny. I hear so many times from our clients, from my team in the past, that it was going so well until it came time for the quote unquote close. It was going so well until it came time to ask for the money. And I was like, awesome. Why don't we start recording your calls and see what happens? And when you get on for those first 5 seconds and you see the exchange happen the first 5 seconds, it dictates so much of the frickin' call. It is crazy. And the first 5 seconds is dictated by your being. So the first 5 seconds involves doing a pre-call ritual or pre-meeting ritual. If you're going to go meet a business executive in person, 15 minutes before, get somewhere and do a meditation or do some push-ups or go for a walk or dance or do something to get out of your head and get into state. Everything is just energetics. We are just atoms that we're all made up of that are vibrating. And people feel that. Like each of us has such a stronger intuition than we even realize. And we can feel that coming across. Each and every one of you guys can feel my passion, my energy right now, even though I'm in San Diego and you're in South Florida, which is 6 hours flight away. Thousands of miles. But you can feel that. It is all energetics. And so if your diet is not right now, if your health is not right now, if you're not meditating, if you're not journaling, if you're not taking full ownership, if you have things in your life that you haven't cleared up, you get to do all those things because this is enrollment. Enrollment is 24/7. Enrollment, life is an enrollment game. It's not about a sales script or what you say on the phone. And it helps to have a really good frame to have on the phone. But none of it matters if you don't have a really good process. It's truth over tactics. I can give you the best tactics in the world that work, but if they're not congruent, they're not coming from the right place, then it doesn't matter. So having the right frame and owning that frame is really important. So let's get into this frame and I'll show you guys live what that actually looks like on an enrollment call. So to give you guys a little bit of a scene, that's my team member Josh on the left. And then we've got this guy called Felipe on the line, and he's a dating coach. And I don't know if we're gonna have time to go through the full enrollment call today, but you guys will get a taste for it. And I've skipped over the first 19 minutes because we're just chit-chatting and bantering and all this kind of stuff. But to set the context for you guys, Felipe is actually someone I used to work with like 3 years ago, where I would run these events for these corporate bankers. And then he ran a company called Mile High Winery Tours out of Colorado. And one of the guys who was building systems for us happened to be connected to Felipe, and I saw on his website, and I was like, no way, you know Felipe? And so he's like, yeah, he's a dating coach now. I'm like, no way. So I reached out to him, and this is the call. So I hadn't spoken to Felipe in years, knew him a little bit from work in the past, but not really. We're 19 minutes in, we've chit-chatted. Josh is just talking a little bit, and then I'm gonna get into the first part of the main frame of the enrollment call, which is all about vision. So as a leader, you are constantly stepping into your vision. You are super clear on what you're here to create. And no matter how you're feeling, you're constantly stepping into your vision. You're constantly saying, how would my future self act? How would I act when I'm empowering millions of people? How would I show up? What would my being be? How would I show up? How would I think? And so it's really important as the main starting of the process. Once you've created a foundation and you've set the intention for the meeting of what you want to create, you then get into their vision, you get them excited.
Roll from there into the inner circle program, which is actually meant to get you like all the way to 6 figures. So kind of the context of everything.
What's your vision, man? Like, obviously it's something you're super passionate about. You've got a lot of experience, been doing it since you were 18. You know how to run a business now. Like, you've got everything in your favor. Like, 12 months from now, like, what would an ideal scenario look like? Would it be like something you could be doing virtually and still traveling like around the world, and then just having people like online? Like, what do you like actually want to create?
So really good question that you guys can ask. 12 months from now, if you had a magic wand, what would a perfect scenario look like for you in your business, in your health, in your life, whatever your niche is? 12 months from now, if you had a magic wand, what would that look like?
If I could put it into, I guess, a vision, it would be, I would love to do definitely kind of a virtual coaching as well as speaking events. I think that would be kind of up my alley and kind of something that I would enjoy. Other than that, yeah, I mean, currently that would be it. And eventually, kind of from those programs, kind of create some products from him, some kind of electronic programs or something like that.
Like a Felipe World Tour, dude.
Yeah, Dirty World Tour. There you go. Something like that, yeah.
Dude, that would be.
Cool. So what you guys see here is I've asked him the question. I've kept quiet. I've let him fully speak. You notice there's probably like a little bit of a pause delay at the end just to make sure he'd finished. And then I'm getting him like pumped up about his vision. Like, if you see the smile on my face, like, I am coming from a place, this is another really important point to know for enrollment, is you are here because you truly care about them. You are taking a stand to help them break through their BS. And the start of the call is all around discovery. You don't know if you can help them or not. You have no idea. So you have no attachment to what they're here to create, except if you truly are a human and you truly care and you love what you do, you are here to take a stand for them, whether they work for you or not. And so I am just excited about what he wants to create. And so that just flows through. And that's why you can see I am the way that I am. And I'm bantering, I'm having fun with it. It's not all serious. We're just having a great conversation.
So yeah, that would be the idea. And again, I mean, it's, I guess, kind of seeing how it would work and how to, what would be the steps to get to there more than anything. But I would say that having, virtual coaching clients and that sort of thing to start.
Yeah. What do you see getting in your way? Like, it sounds like for you.
Cool. So usually what I'll do is like go deeper into that vision. I would edify it a little bit more because of time constraints, but also because I know him I'm moving on to the second part of the enrollment call very quickly because we've already kind of built a lot of it for the first 21 minutes anyways. So the first part of the enrollment call is all around the vision, what they're stepping into, what they want to create, what excites them. And the second part is the challenges. So when I say that enrollment is high-end coaching is enrollment, it's exactly what you guys would go through, something similar in ICF. What is the vision? What do you want to create? And then what are the challenges? What's getting in your way?
In the past, that seems to have been gone. You've obviously got passion, you've got business acumen. What do you really see is like I love that vision that gets me excited. And what do you see is gonna stop you from making it happen?
Like I said, I think it's really, to be honest, it's really committed myself and having kind of a step-by-step, I guess, either program or path to follow to just that that gives me more certainty that it's going to work.
Totally.
I think that's what it is.
So it's really important to understand the language of what they're using, guys. And by the way, Felipe has given me full permission to use this video. We hosted an event here in San Diego with 150 people 2 weeks ago. Him and I actually came up on stage together. We went through this enrollment call. It was amazing. He was sharing what was going through his mind. I was sharing what was going through my mind. And it was this beautiful thing. And he's had an amazing experience in our program. But just a quick FYI. So when he's going through the challenges and his vision, it's really important to listen to every word and try and really get into their world and understand how they think. So you'll hear my response here in a second.
Is that a core value for you, certainty?
So I'm just bantering and smiling and laughing about it, but I can see for him that certainty is something that's really important. Tony Robbins says there's 6 human needs. There's certainty, uncertainty, love, significance as the main ones. And then to go to the next level, kind of like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, growth and service are the final 2. But that's just an FYI. So I can tell that certainty is something important to him. And so with my voice, I'm using a lot of certainty. So that's the non-tangible. And then the tangible is speaking to certainty when it comes time to make my offer.
Yeah. I mean, it's what we often lack as entrepreneurs, in terms of everything. Yeah. So, yeah.
What do you think it's going to cost you if it doesn't happen?
Okay, so now we're moving into the third phase. So once again, I'm moving really quick on this one. I would say an average enrollment call is anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours. So Rich Litvin, Prosperous Coach, will talk about creating clients, go and sit with someone for 2 hours, give them massive value, and then use that to create clients. That's definitely a good methodology. With executive coaches, especially people who aren't that familiar with coaching, that can be good. My experience is I don't want to be wasting a lot of time with people. And so I just move quick. There's 4 personality types, and how I enroll Felipe is completely different than how I would enroll a $5 million deal with Ally Bank, obviously. But the way that I'm speaking to each person is different based on where they're at. So there's something called a personality matrix, which has 4 quadrants in it. The first quadrant is controller, and most executives are controllers. So the next one is promoter. The third one is analyzer, and the fourth one is supporter. So a controller is someone who is very results driven. They speak quickly, they make quick decisions, they want to control everything, they want to own everything. A promoter is someone who's super excited about everything, gets pumped up, isn't the best in the details, like a visionary, but they're just so excited. An analyzer, someone who loves maths, numbers, details. And supporter, they just care about everyone and make sure everyone's happy. So depending on who your person is, you speak to them differently. I see Felipe as someone who's a very big promoter. He gets excited, awesome. And he's got a little bit of controller in him as well. He wants certainty. So I'll speak to that. Versus someone who is a lot more analytical, you get an executive who's a controller analyzer, then you want to speak in terms of numbers, in terms of metrics, in terms of results. They're probably going to make a little bit longer of a decision than a promoter. A promoter, if he's excited and pumped, boom, they're in. A analyzer will take more time. A supporter, they just want to feel heard and taken care of, and it's going to be right for everyone around them. So this is now phase 3. So first phase is around vision. Second phase is around challenges. Third phase is cost of inaction. This is huge, guys. This is the point where almost everyone misses in enrollment, is the cost of inaction, the silent killer. Most people, most humans are completely delusional to where they're at in their life. If you've been experienced, like I'm sure a lot of you guys have been experiencing in your business, the same pain for a while. Like if you get really honest with yourself, your business hasn't really grown that much in the last 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. If you get really honest, but you're cruising along, you're thinking you're good, you're like chill. The cost of inaction is what most of us don't think about. So we see a price tag of $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, whatever, and all we look at is that price tag. But if we actually get real and we look at this from a holistic perspective and look at the upside from a health perspective, from a wealth perspective, from a relationship perspective, and then we also realize if we keep running the same patterns that we've been running for the last 2 years, that we keep running for the next 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, if we keep running those same patterns, we're going to be in exactly the same place 5 years from now than we are today, and 5 years closer to our deathbed. And that is extremely sad. And most people do not realize that. And so be able to effectively help them realize the cost of inaction and the cost of them not willing to break through on this call and step up and take a movement towards where they want to go. That is true enrollment, is helping them understand, not from a manipulative perspective, but from a place of true love and care, helping them realize they get to stop focusing on all the unimportant, urgent items and focus on the important items that seem less urgent and getting them to shift their mindset around that. You're already helping them create a breakthrough. So how do I do that? Let's get into this.
You try to make this thing happen and it doesn't. Like,
Yeah.
what's the cost for you? You have to like turn this into reality and actually like fulfill on this vision that you have.
I don't think it's well, that's the thing. Oh, here's, you were asking me what's stopping me. Some projects that were a little bit more monetarily urgent. I'm releasing a wine pass here in Denver where, you know, I'm partnering with about 20 wineries and they're giving 2-for-1 deals, free wine tastings. And it's mostly, you know, it's mostly profit compared to the wine tours. And so that was one of the things. But in terms of that, there's nothing really that I would, other than perhaps the money that I invest in the program, other than that, there's really nothing that I would necessarily lose per se.
Yeah.
Cool. So super quick, comment in the dialogue box. Who here thinks he's excited and ready to buy right now? Put your comments in the dialogue box on the right. Who here feels that he's urgent based on that response? Who here feels that he like truly gets this and is like excited and he wants to buy? And thinks he's ready. Violet, not really. Let's get some opinions, guys. This is fun. Not yet. Let's keep going. A few more opinions. On the fence. Cool. Not excited. Exactly. My perspective is there's no way he's buying right now. There's no way that he sees the value in what we're creating. Never mention price until the value is being created. Never mention price until value is being created. Because as soon as they hear that, if they don't see the value, they're done. All they hear is that price tag when you're speaking. They don't care anymore. So you have to build value first before you mention it. And there's no way he is ready because he doesn't understand what it's really costing him to keep doing what he's doing. And so the job of my enrollment, and let's see if I can get this back up here. The job of my enrollment is to help him realize what the true cost of an action was and to get him like, holy crap, I have to move, and wake him up. Because most people are completely passive. Completely passive. They're like, it's okay that I'm just like trugging along. I've been trying to do this business for years. I'm not doing 6 figures yet. I'm just like moving along, but I'm not like really taking hard steps towards this, making massive breakthroughs. That's not okay. It's not okay for Felipe. If I want to take a stand for Felipe to help him grow and scale his business, I get to help him move now. Because the only way he's getting to 6 figures, if only 5% of coaches move to 6 figures, we have to create a shift in him. And that's what we get to create now. And that is why enrollment is coaching and coaching is enrollment.
Well, I'm just curious because a lot of
So the next principle I'm going to share with you guys here is called third-party referencing. Third-party referencing is an amazing strategy that you can use to call someone out without necessarily calling them out. Because I'll have to say, hey, Felipe, you don't get it, man. You're not fully showing up in your business. You're not urgent. You're not acting. You're not playing a big game. You're here to play a bigger game, but you're not actually doing all the right things. If I said that to him, he would lift the middle finger at me and he'd be like, go away. It would just damage his ego. But if I speak in a third-party reference to other people and speak to in a way that like really hits him deep, he can't hate on me for that. And he's going to hear it and be like, whoa, that's me. So you guys will hear this in a second.
It's an opportunity cost. I think it was like, oh, well, I need to do this. It's more certain that it's going to work compared to something new, like the coaching thing that I don't even have a market yet. I already have the market for the wine. Let's continue on with something that's already working.
So you can see he's like certainty mentioned again, and he's so focused on the short term of like the guarantee from the wine business versus the uncertainty of the coaching business, that even though his dream is the coaching business, he'll let the certainty dictate because certainty is what's on his mind and that's his core driver and his core value. So now it's my turn to shift him from that.
That's what it was.
Because the pattern that we see most people run in their lives, they don't take into account the cost of inaction. And so it's like really to keep running on the same treadmill they've been running on and do what's comfortable and just keep running down that path. And like deep down, they know that they desire to do something else and to be passionate and to like truly fulfill that.
Right.
People like wake up suddenly and they're like, fuck, like I never did that thing I always wanted to do. You know, like the kid who like graduates from college and like really wants to become like the incredible musician, but keeps putting off. And suddenly they're like 30 years old and they're like, fuck, like I never did that thing that I always wanted to do.
That's me right there, man. You described me completely, man.
Boom. See exactly what happened there, guys? Like if you know your market well enough, you can speak so deeply in a third-party reference to them that they're like, holy crap, like you understand me. But I wasn't even speaking about Felipe. I was talking about some kid who wanted to be a musician. But I was speaking about Felipe because I knew exactly the pattern that he's been running because I've seen it in my life. I've seen it in my clients' lives. I've seen it in everyone else. And so I can just congruently speak to that and call him out without him feeling ego defeated. And you can see the smile on his face. He's like, got me. And now he is completely open and completely shifted to a conversation. And when him and I got up on stage and we were sharing, he was like, this is the turning point for me. This is where I was like, I need to wake up and do something with my life because I'm just pottering along and I'm not taking the leaps that I truly want and desire because I really want to make it. This is my mission. This is the impact I'm here to have on this planet. I don't have a long time. And now it's time for me to step up and make this happen. And that was the shift that happened for him. And that's what each of you guys gets to create with the corporate executives or the other leaders or the other humans that you are here to help, is you get to help them to raise their game. The corporate executive who's worked his way up the ladder for 30 years and has got stale and he doesn't even realize it. He's not fully happy at home. He doesn't have the energy that he wanted anymore. And he's just trying to like play the corporate politics game and move the needle so he can continue to raise up, have the financial security so he can finally retire when he's 65. And then he doesn't even know what he wants to do in his life anymore. That's the pattern that most people run. And so when they hear a $5,000 coaching program, they have no idea what coaching is. They're like, I don't care. They're not going to spend that money because you haven't tapped into their heart and their human side and truly got clear. What is their vision? What has been holding them back? What is the cost of inaction? What is their life going to look like if they don't step into the vision and they work with you? They're going to keep running the same pattern. They're going to work their way up. They're going to get their 401k. They're going to retire. They're going to go fishing and they're going to play a little bit of golf and then they're going to die. That is going to be their life. Completely uninspired, wasted. You get to be that shift for them to get in their mind and help them realize what the shift is. Even if you help them with something like HR consulting, you get to be the stand for them to get excited and shift in their life. You get to reignite the passion they had when they were in their 20s, they've lost because they're in their 30s, 40s, or 50s. You get to help them step up in every single area of their life. So it shows up for their significant other. It shows up for their children. It shows up for their health. When people are ignited, transformation shifts every area of your life. Every one of our clients is going to be way more present after they work with us, in way better shape, have the diet down, and they're going to be pumped and excited every single day, because transformation is not about being a coach or whatever it is. Like with Felipe, transformation is not about him being a dating coach. It's about him stepping into his true purpose as a leader and shining up in every area of his life 24/7. Like I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Right, and it's like that's the status quo, and the things that are like that seem slightly more urgent continue to get in the way. And that pattern runs again and again and again and again and again. And it's the same thing, dude, with your clients. It's the same.
So now I'm like drumming it in again. I got the smile. I got the reaction. He got clear that the cost of inaction is hurting him. Now I want to drum at home and help him realize the true cost of what this is happening. And so I'll use a different story, something even more related, which is his clients. His clients being men who struggle in relationships and have been wanting an ideal relationship forever, but they keep running the same patterns and they focus on the urgent and not the important. And so suddenly they wake up in 30 or 40 and they're not married, they don't have the relationship, and they're like, crap, I've got to do something about it. That's what he gets to create and shift in people. But this is really hitting home with him now.
Thing with those people who are avoiding like solving their deep-rooted shit that's holding them back from attracting more than their dreams.
Right.
They are not factoring in the cost of inaction, and they don't have that fire lit up their ass to be like, fuck, like this has to happen.
Right.
Because if I don't do this thing right now, I'm going to keep getting rejected by women. I'm going to keep running this. I'm going to keep getting in the friend zone. I'm going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. I'm going to suddenly wake up and be 40 years old. And I'm not going to fucking have like a family or have my dream wife or have anything like that because I failed to take something that didn't seem that urgent and take it fucking seriously.
Mm-hmm. So I've gone to, like, my mannerisms will shift. My ways of being will shift throughout the call. So at the start, when it's about vision and excitement, empowerment, I'm like, yes, like I'm edifying you. I'm pumped. I'm excited. But when it's time for him to realize the cost of inaction, you better believe that I'm on him. And I'm like, dude, I'm taking a stand for your transformation. And I'm going to own that in him. And so you get to shift how you show up and your ways of being for where you are needed. And you see the look on his face now. He's like, damn, son, you got me.
Right. Yeah.
That's the cost. That's what the true cost of inaction is. And most people are like, it's not that much. But when you like really factor in, you're like, fuck, like the cost of this is I miss out on what I'm passionate about and what I'm here to do on this planet, like what I'm like super inspired to do. Like
right.
The cost of inaction.
Yeah. No, that's definitely the case. I mean, and it's even when it comes to, I mean, I can travel and I can work from home, but at the same time, am I doing what I love? So not necessarily no. So definitely you could call it in action when it comes to that.
Yeah. So we're getting the program in a second.
So now he said, yeah, you've totally got me. Like, I'm not actually doing what I love. I've been focusing on all this other stuff. Like, I get to do this. So he's not in a place now of like buying, but he's in a place now where he is listening to every single word that comes out of my mouth. And so I then reference, awesome, we'll get to the program in a second. And there's one more thing.
Because last question, scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Committed are you to this process of creating like Felipe the dating coach?
So the process is vision, challenge, cost of inaction, and then commitment. So vision, challenge, cost of inaction, commitment. So VCCC. Vision, challenge, cost of inaction, commitment. I want to know, how committed is he to this process? I will never talk about price. I'll never talk about my program. I'll never talk about how I can serve him if he's not committed. Because no one broke through any area of their life by being a 7 or an 8 out of 10 committed. The only way they break through is being a 10 out of 10 committed. And you get to ask yourself now, scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to breaking through in your coaching business? How committed are you to create the coaching business that you've always wanted, that you signed up for in ICF and now you want to create? Scale of 1 to 10, what does that look like for you? If your initial reaction is anything less than 10, then you get to shift and ask, who gets to emerge for me to get to a 10? Because I guarantee if you're not at a 10, you're not going to make it. There's a reason why only 5% of coaches get to 6 figures and only 1% get to 7 figures. And commitment is a large, large part of that. And so I want to understand in this call with him, is he actually committed yet before I make the offer? If he's not, I'll tell him I can't help him. and waiting to see if he tries to justify and get to a 10. If he's not willing to do it, I walk away.
Scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to this?
I would say 11 because
dude, fuck yeah.
So you can hear my reaction. Like, I'm so excited. I'm like, yes, like he is actually committed to this. I saw some things throughout the call where I was like, I don't fully know. But he's like, I'm an 11. I'm like, boom, baby. Like, let's go change your life. Let's take a stand for you. Let's make this happen.
the reason why is because I literally would be getting paid for living a certain kind of lifestyle.
He just told me his big why. I would get paid for living a certain type of lifestyle.
It's the more I do it, the better I get at it. The better I get at it, the more I can contribute to the clients. And it's just a snowball effect. So
yeah, you have the greatest hunters in the world following you, and you'll be able to travel around the world teaching guys how to get the big one.
So I'm edifying him. You'll have the greatest hunters in the world following you. You'll be able to go around the world, like live this travel lifestyle. You'll have guys paying you. You're living your dream. So I know we're out of time here. I'm going to answer some questions. First of all, I'd love to hear from each of you guys. What is your biggest takeaway from what you've heard? What I'm going to do is, just before you guys answer that, I'm going to give each of you guys something, because so many of you guys are focused on the ICF market, so the executive market. So what I want each of you guys to do, I'd love to hear like feedback around this, but go in and grab your growth hacking package. My team will set you up with if you're focused on LinkedIn, like if executives is your market, they'll go and give you a tool which will add thousands of followers to your LinkedIn for you and send messages at scale. So if any of you guys target executives, you should be putting 3 to 5 pieces of content out a week on LinkedIn, use a tool to have thousands of your ideal clients being added, and then you'll be able to get in front of them much more easily and then have enrollment conversations like this. And I'm sure a lot of you are like, wow, this is so good. How do you finish the call? My team will send you a document with the remainder of the call and how it goes and how to transition to the actual proposal of the offer. Because now he's listening. Now he's like, I'm ready to go. And I'll show you exactly how to build the offer. So if you guys go grab the growth hacking package, my team will hook you up with the tool. They'll send you the rest of the recording. They'll send you about 500 other things, and they'll give you some actionable tips. And then if you guys want to be part of our free community, you can join that too. So that's my gift to each of you guys. And I'd love for the last few minutes to answer any questions and get any feedback from people.
Thank you, James. Questions, anybody?
Yeah, I'd love to get like number one takeaway. Like, let's get everyone to share their takeaway, because like when you guys coach, you know that interaction is really important. So I want to hear, what did you guys each hear? What were the takeaways and any feedback from people? Explore cost of inaction, exactly. The importance of the cost of inaction, the importance of each step of the process, not moving forward without progress, exactly. Who here feels that they are now more set to enroll people around the concept of coaching and living their vision? Because the key thing is, it's not about coaching, it's about that person's vision and changing their life. Coaching is just the mechanism. It's just the how. You want to create a 5-step process that people follow to help go from where they are today to where they want to go. And you're just enrolling them in their vision and using your step-by-step system to get them there. It's not about ICF. It's not about coaching. It's not about you. It's about where they want to be, where they want to go, the system that you've created to get there that no one else has created. And you tie in every step of your system to every step of their journey. And I could go for days on this. Like when you guys book your growth hacking package, my team will like give you a quick rundown. There's a million different things. Focus more on helping the client describe the cost of an action before sharing anything else. They're not committed, close to 10, maybe need to walk away. Exactly. Opening code, enroll, closing code now.
So that was me. I need to give that to the team before they get off, and I forgot to announce it in the beginning. So for your CCU, your opening code is enroll and your closing code is now.
Cool. So yeah, so just super quick. So for the package, I'll show you guys how it works. You just click on the link, which is over here in the chat box, and then you'll just basically go to this page and stay on the meeting. And you basically get a free 15-minute dialogue with our team who'll give you like a million different things relevant to your business. You'll get the top 3 ways to generate calls with your clients. So I've given a ton of feedback around how to do enrollment, but I guarantee most of you aren't booking 5-10 calls a week. So you get to figure out how to do that. And then we'll give you a tool which will add thousands of followers. You can either have an Instagram tool or a LinkedIn tool. We'll give you guys one of those. Like we said, our mission is to grow and scale mission-driven businesses. We're going to give you guys a ton of free value because we love ICF. We love mission-driven coaches who invest to get their clients results. And we trust eventually you guys will probably want to work with us. So we're just going to give away as much value as possible at scale because we know that eventually like it's going to come back to us. And if you guys don't work with us, doesn't matter. Like we just want you guys to get out there and to spread coaching because coaching's had such a massive shift on my life. Every area, every one of my business partners, like if you'd seen us 5 years ago, completely different people. The cost of transformation is priceless. And so we're here to give the gift and get it to as many people as possible. And so the more we can do to help spread that, the better. So grab your guys' growth hacking package. You'll just book on this. That'll set you up with a call with one of our team. They'll give you everything you need and you'll be on your way. And there's no selling. If you guys are interested in working with us, you can ask them, but there's no selling. It's just pure value. Cool.
Thank you so much, James, for this incredible experience. Seeing the live call was amazing, and really, you were modeling for us what you would teach us to do, and it felt really good to be part of it. We really appreciate it.
Cool.